Oh my God,
I'm still listening to the little heart dance. Now I gotta find where that music is and turn it off.
hi. I don't hear it anymore, if it matters.
Well, yeah, you don't, but I do.
Oh, well,
Okay.
it's
Ah,
the voices in your head.
yeah, that too.
That music was cute. I liked that. And your new little starting screen was also very cute.
Yeah, I haven't used that one before, so it shall be ours.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
How you doing at the beginning of this week?
Um, it's the beginning of the week.
I thought you were gonna say it like a question, like you weren't sure.
Yeah, it's all good. All good. Today's been a little bit crazy, but it started off with my husband spilling 20 ounces of coffee all over everything I own. So
Is he still your husband at this point in time?
yeah, yeah, he's hanging on a thread. Luckily it's things I can wash. But yes, there were quilts harmed. Luckily it is things I can wash though, so
All right, everyone in the audience, we ride at dawn.
yeah, he's gonna have to be punished badly.
I would say that something like that warrants the gift of a new quilt.
Wow. Yeah, of course.
That seems
I
only fair.
Yeah, somehow I feel like I'm just lucky getting by with the fact that it's nothing's completely ruined. So I think that was my luck there.
Hmm. 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 Well, we have a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of announcements to talk about, all the things.
Yeah.
So while we're here tonight, finishing up this fantastic book, let's just remind everyone that we do have another book lined up that you've already been hearing about. It's our friend Merikay Waldvogel's Soft Covers for Hard Times.
Mhm.
I don't have, do you have the one with you nearby? I don't have it with me at my desk.
I don't. It's sitting on my table because I was looking at it the other day.
You guys have seen posts about it on the Instagram and the Facebook. There have also been affiliate links for those to Amazon and Abe. Just FYI, if you use those affiliate links, we get a tiny little kickback that helps us keep the lights on. So there's that. And then all the things to get into. Let me share my screen here. If I can find out what I'm doing with my life. Hold on. Hmm, hmm, hmm.
You know what, Jill? I've noticed other people have stolen your calendar idea, and I think it's a very good one.
People have
Most of us
stolen
don't.
it.
Most of Yeah, so we
What
at
is
the Baltimore
that?
Applique Society are now using it apparently. The
Oh,
calendar idea.
hold on. That is not the right picture. Why did that pop up? That was weird. Okay. We will go with this one first. That was bizarre. I don't know what that was about. Okay. So you recognize
What
this, right?
what have we here? Let me to make this bigger. Uh-huh. Yep.
This is, so last week we had talked about the fact that Anne had created some doll quilts based off the patchwork she had been looking at in the book here, and it had just been teased a little bit that potentially maybe we could turn that into another sew along like Steph you did with the Mary
Hmm.
Witherwax quilt that Don Ronigan repatterned. So Anne went digging and she found a couple of the patterns that were published in magazines. This one's December 2012 from American Patchwork and Quilting. Anne reached out to the former editor that she worked with at the time, who said she can share this pattern. Uh,
Oh, nice.
the New England Quilt Museum too also has the magazines, so like they could be, shared that way. But the other one, because we really liked this one. This one was from Quilt Mania, which is now sadly no longer a thing. But someone would have to reach out and ask and find out what the deal is. But like, I guess potentially those could be um, other possibilities if we are allowed to share those as well. But I wanted people to know that potentially turning something like that into a sew along is a possibility. Hi,
Yeah,
Jan.
That would be really fun because I mean they're small items, you know? It's not
Mhm.
like there's the Mary Wither wax, which I mean I've been plugging away at it for 11 weeks and I've done a lot, but it's a big, you know, it's a big commitment.
I've had
So
a
I
harder
like
time doing a lot.
little projects are fun.
Yeah, and well, and Mary Wither wax is mostly, I mean, I guess depending on how you do it, is a hand project where this one could be hand if you
Hmm.
wanted it to be hand, but it could also very
Hmm.
easily be machine if you wanted
Yeah,
it to be
yeah.
machine. So, so just stay tuned. We could have something like that getting going. Um,
Pretty
and
exciting.
next week on the 20th, we have our live interview with Anne where she'll be here on the screen with us. All the shenanigans involved. There could be cats on her end, who knows? Because, you know, we sometimes see tails on Stephanie's end or extra appendages coming off of her ear. Someone might make an appearance on Anne's, who knows? But she'll be with us. We have a list of questions. You guys can ask questions live in the chat, and that's going to be super fun. When we did our first one with Dawn, it was a hoot and a half. So this one will be a hoot and three quarters.
Maybe, yeah.
Does that make
And
sense?
plus it's live, you never know what will happen. I always make it sound like, I don't know, like a skydiver is going to come crashing through my ceiling or something like, oh my goodness.
Well,
But you never
you've
know.
got cats, so that could
Yes,
happen.
yes,
I'm
indeed it
shocked.
could.
I mean, I'm shocked, like, knock on all kinds of wood, that like your quilt frame there has never come crashing down from cats.
Uh, it's never come crashing down on camera.
That's what I meant, like live. It's never come crashing down.
Yeah, I've been lucky, but yeah.
I would be the one who'd like stretch and just boom, and you know. But anywho, next, so we've got American Quilt Study seminar coming up, and registration is technically closed. It's been closed for a week now, but we have mentioned, and we'll just keep mentioning, that there is a day that will be open to the public on the 7th, 1 to 4 p.m. The quilt exhibit and the vendor mall will be open to the public for a $10 admission. You get to go to both of them for $10. So you get to see, I believe it's, is it 19th century New York quilts? I believe it is in the
I
exhibit.
think so. Yeah, I think so.
Um, and then if that's not enough, then you get to see a whole plethora of goodness in the vendor mall, where you also get to see like the country's top vendors, people like Julie Silber and Jane Lurie and Stella Rubin, and I'm not going to name everybody, but like there's Nancy Hahn and like lots and lots of people.
Well,
We've
you've named
mentioned
more than half of
before,
them now.
I know, right? Well, we've mentioned before Julia Kelly Houdinus, who lives not far from me, that I've shown some quilts that I was helping her with. She'll be there as well. Like there's lots of people. You need to come to that if you
Yeah,
don't.
if you're not far from Tarrytown, like if you would be willing to make a day trip to Tarrytown, do it.
Yeah. And then who knows,
Plus,
like,
we'll be there.
yeah, and if you go, like tell us, and like so that we can try to come say hi to you. And then our lovely calendar that people are stealing.
It's our friend Jen that stole it for the Baltimore Applique Society, and she admitted that she stole it, but it was
She's
a good
a
idea because
stealer.
this is a good thing. It keeps me remembering where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing.
If I'm not texting you like, hello, there's a meeting right now. So tomorrow we have needlework nights. I've taken all the pictures of my stuff for it, where we're doing pincushion animals that are of the like metal looking variety. And I say that because taking pictures, I do have a couple that feel like they're a resin, but they're painted to look like a metal, and I think that counts. You know, some of them are really like silver. I do have a nice piece like that, and some of them aren't, and I think all that counts. So we're going to look at that stuff. That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Look, I've even got all the times here for you, and they're all in Eastern. And then all the blue is Cake TV, where Steph does her book reading and other exhibits and shenanigans and stuff. It must get lonely now by yourself, doesn't it, huh?
It's quiet. It's zen.
Good to know that I'm the shenanigans part of things. We have been working on one of these for September that we will, let's see, we'll probably put that out the last week of August, like the beginning of the last week of August, because we're making some tweaks to it. We're doing some things that you will want to know about. So you'll see that one soon. This is posted on our Instagram and on our Facebook page so that you can find it and save it and things like that so that you know where we're supposed to be because we don't. All right, moving on. We have new merch.
Oh,
Yep. We have new merch. Stephanie
do.
designed this herself. I had no input. I basically just said, I love it, print it, where's mine? And
Okay.
I mean that's what happened. There's other merch too. There's that you may not have known about. There's Quilt Nerding t-shirts, there's Cake TV t-shirts, there's Dr. Dunton t-shirts and other swag and cups and totes and all kinds of things. I'm going to show you the website in a second. But this has officially launched today.
Oh, whoops.
What are you whoopsing about?
I put a link in and I broke the link.
You're fired. I can't
Yeah, I know. I'm the
either.
worst.
I
I'm
can't
the
do
worst.
either. We're gonna look at that. So hang tight for a sec. The next thing is we have books for sale. This is a picture of our Instagram, and you can see that there's a book sale highlight there. They are extras of all kinds of history related quilt books that we're offloading because I've got like 50 of them in the house and like girlfriend needs some space. So they are books that we'll probably look at some point in time if you want to get your hands on them. They're very reasonably priced. I'm going based off kind of the average of what the used sale prices are online. And the proceeds of that, they go to keep the lights on because Steph and I have plans and sadly you need money to do those plans. So there's also you can also find them too on the Facebook page, and you can email us at quiltnerding@gmail.com if you also just want a list. So moving on here. I'm breezing through. Julie Silber, our lovely friend, has some some patchwork pillowcases that she's been taking pictures of for us that will be going up on her website. There just haven't yet. I will put her email in the description after. You can inquire with her to purchase before they go on there. She does have everything priced. She just got me these photos today. So within the next few days or so, keep an eye on her site. We'll also look at that in a second. This is one of them. I love the backing on this. Oh my God. Next we have this privy bag that's also going to be for sale. Oh my God.
Are you still sharing? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. For a second I was like, are you still sharing your
Are
screen?
you breaking
I'm not
things?
seeing it. Yeah, I'm breaking stuff.
Okay, don't break stuff because I'm gonna say like I have this up on my phone. And you know, hey Ann, you did an appraisal for Julie? I
Oh,
didn't know that. I didn't even know that you could do I didn't know you were a appraiser. The more we know. I feel like I need like a banner. You remember those streamer things in the 90s, whatever those things were called that everyone went bananas over? I feel like I need one that's like the more you know. I could like yeah, what were those things called? I forget, but anywho. So yeah, we've got this, and oh my God, why am I obsessed with like backing fabric? Which is, I mean, of course, there's no such thing as like backing fabric, but you know, like the prints people pick for the back. So Anne, you're not an appraiser, but you did an appraisal for Julie. Oh, she just wanted input into value. Gotcha. Gotcha. I mean, that is important, and you would be a good person to ask, that's for sure. Then here's a
Ooh, I
bolster.
love this.
And you know what's interesting is obviously like we can kind of smatter in some book now. Remember when we were talking, I think maybe when we first cracked into the book and we were talking about how there were some of these longer ones and it was kind of like a what is that kind of a thing, and we were wondering, does it sit at the end of the bed? You know, is it like a bed scarf kind of thing? And in the book here, in the section on bolsters, on 92, it talks about how there could be bolsters at the head and the foot of the bed. I'm assuming maybe like a keep your feet warm kind of scenario for that. Um, what does it say here? The bottom bolster was stuffed with straw or corn husks, while the top bolster was stuffed with feathers, and pillows were arranged on top of the bolster. That makes a whole lot of sense when I
Yeah,
consider
but
all the
no,
things I wasn't
so you
thinking.
read that as a bolster at the top and the bottom of the bed. I read that as a pile of bolsters.
Oh, um,
Yeah, she says it's not
uh,
the bottom of the bed.
darn it.
It's a bolster piled on top of a bolster. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
yeah,
then
okay.
looking at, hold on. Well, I mean, this is why you read
Bottom of the bolster pile.
this is why you read stuff together, right?
Yeah, and
There's
so
another
on
picture.
the page that
You're
has
totally
the
looking for the same picture I am, Marcia, the one
picture,
you had.
it's page 101.
Okay,
I'm assuming that's what you're looking for. The bed.
probably. Yes.
The bolster is underneath the pillows there.
Well, what I was looking for is if that I thought maybe that picture had two bolsters on it, but not that
No,
I
but
can
I
see.
think the bolster, like a bolster stuffed with corn shucks would be corn husks would be
Corn,
underneath that the
corn
fancy
shucks.
corn shucks.
I
Yeah.
can't even say it now.
Yeah. Well, you know, and it's interesting that they say straw or corn husks because I mean, my grandmother told me when she was growing up, they'd stuff their mattress with straw and corn husks. So like,
That sounds smelly.
um, well, I mean, it was clean. It was all clean, fresh.
No, but you know,
And
like the
they,
smell of corn husks, like
yeah, I guess. But yeah, they would empty them out seasonally and restuff them.
I was all excited that we were all keeping our feet warm with corn husks.
But you know what? What's interesting though about the corn husks and the straw, isn't it? Don't you think it would be noisy?
I mean,
You're like roll over,
suppose,
crinkle, 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 crinkle,
yeah,
crinkle, crinkle.
I suppose it certainly could be. We're so spoiled.
Seriously,
We're really
seriously.
spoiled.
I think about my Sealy Posturepedic foam pillow that is just fabulous. It keeps my neck, you know, just right. And if I had to sleep on a corn husk bolster, I don't think that I would be in a very good mood.
Who knows? Maybe people weren't. Here's another piece of
Perhaps.
that with a little back. I think there's another one too. No. Oh my God, look at this sweet little thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like
So
that one.
yeah, and this one, when we got further back here, talking about um where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Ah, there was a particular one that reminded me.
Of this one,
Yeah.
it's on page 110.
Okay. Well, why don't you just get your crap together then? Yes, that one, the drunkard's path.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember
You
when I
know
was
what's really
first like
what's
looking
funny
through
is
this.
I have a Sunbonnet Sue pillow case
Mhm.
that is just like this. It's square with a ruffle. And I was looking at I haven't pulled it out. Like it's still in storage because I'm getting all my Sunbonnet Sue stuff out. And I thought about it today as I was reading. I was like, now I have a Pennsylvania pillowcase. I don't think it's anywhere near as old as these, but
I love the blue on this one. It's really, really pretty. I hope I'm not, I hope I'm not like helping you shop at all. Hey, Britt.
Brett.
I like the back of this one too. That blueprint is just, ugh, I never get sick of blueprints ever. Never, ever.
Oh, you're from St. Louis.
Hmm.
Very cool.
This
Oh
one's
yeah,
really
this
interesting.
yeah.
I like the racer stripe. You know what I picture? My brother, if this was in his bed when he was a kid, he'd totally be like using his cars like on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Do you think people were doing that? Oh, Britt also has two cats. We're all here for the cats, Britt. You could end up seeing a tail doing weird stuff back there. And then here's close. Oh, wow, that like morning print is interesting. And of course, I love this backing. I'm a sucker for backing stuff. Another
For
bolster.
sure. Yeah. Is that one? That's a courthouse steps, right?
Yeah, that one is super duper pieced. And then of course another gorgeous bag. Yeah, that one's got some really nice fabrics in it.
Yeah.
And then Julie sent these ones to me kind of last minute. She was like, and
Yeah,
this one, and this one.
I don't think I saw these.
Yes, these ones, before anyone gets really, really excited, these ones have sold a while ago. I believe the DAR is gonna have them. But they were
Ooh.
just really cool to look at. I really, again, like the print is really like, look at that print. That's really
Is
cool.
it a morning print or is it a brown?
It looks like a brown to me. It's really cool. And then this is another one that had sold. And she said it was a wool with some moth damage.
Now, this one really strikes me as I have a few blocks or I have the corner of a quilt. I'm going to make this into a pillow.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
one doesn't, yeah, this one does not strike me as in like I made these blocks for this pillow,
And
but still it's very, very cool.
this purpley is very interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah. Did she have a date on this? I mean, we can
I
assume.
don't have any of like the background of anything. It's just the
Okay.
photos right now. She's
Yeah.
gonna
I'm guessing
probably,
that's all
yeah.
contemporary with these things in Anne's book.
Yeah, and there's the back of it
The
there.
back.
And
Very
then
nice.
this one, Julie said is eluding her right now.
Okay, so this was the one that she couldn't find.
Yeah, she's like, I know it's around here somewhere. I just haven't found it yet. So hopefully she gets her hands on this one because this one's very, very cool. And I think, and then of course we have these ones again.
Mhm.
And then I need to stop sharing for a second because I just need to reorder my world here. I'm trying to avoid Inception because it's so
Yes, it's
weird.
nice. It's nice to not do Inception.
Yeah, it's so weird looking. So I did want to remind everybody about this. Um,
Oh yeah.
so for nerds and things and people that are coming to seminar, you can see this, right, Steph?
I can. Yep.
Okay. Um, this is a pillowcase that I bought in Pennsylvania that I have that's framed, came framed, and we are going to do an unframing together as a group. Anne is going to be there. Steph is going to be there. Other nerds that are coming are going to be there. So if you are going to seminar, we're going to do this Wednesday night at 7 p.m. because that's the only time that we're not competing with a bunch of other things.
Yeah. We will be
And
recording it for people
yes,
that
we
can't be in
will,
Tarrytown.
we'll take some video, we'll take some photos and stuff like that. But if you are going to be at seminar and you do want to come to this, please let us know because this is not going to be something that's like kind of out in foyer. We do have a room to go do this in.
Mhm.
So
It's an invitation only.
yeah, let us know that you want to come. Yeah, I'll have a bouncer at the door. And we're gonna do this together. And then also Anne said she would bring some of her pillowcases that she still has in her collection for us to look at and chat with and stuff like that. So that'll be super fun. And then oh, I'm not done yet. Oh my God, I'm not done yet. I'm not done.
We're gonna get to the things I want to say about the book.
It's just there's just I might have to, oh my God, I might have to do Inception. I'll try to do it fast. Boom, boom. Did I get out fast?
Yeah, I did not see Inception.
Yay. Okay. So I just want to mention some websites here because once we get going, I don't really want to go back and forth between screen sharing. So on page 83, we've got a section here about patchwork pillowcases from the Lancaster Mennonite Historical Society. that has now changed its name to Mennonite Life since this book was published. And I looked it up when I was going through the book, and this place is very cool. And if Steph and I are in Pennsylvania in October, like we're planning to be, we are going here. Um, and for one, there's exhibits where examples see the material beauty and simplicity created by Lancaster County's plain people in antique furniture, one of a kind fractor, which you now know what it is based on this book, handcrafted needlework quilts and clothing. Like this just like a Mennonite and Amish sampler here. Like, yes, I'm all for that. There's a bunch of different museums involved in this. It's almost like kind of going to like Sturbridge Village, where you've kind of got like, look at this, you know, original house and this like cultural center and this like all different things. So I was making sure that they are still around and open, because I know some historical societies close and things like that. So that is still a thing. You should go see that. Also here, I have Julie Silber's website. Since we were just talking about that, if you could plug that into the chat for me, Steph. That Mennonite one too is also, you can plug that in too.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you gave me the link to that.
So yeah, here's Julie's website. She's got quilts and books and all kinds of goodies on here. And this is what you'll want to pay attention to, that she will be listing pillowcases on. And thank you so much, Julie, for allowing us to share those and look at them and drool.
Oh yeah, for sure. We appreciate that. And, you know, of course, we hopefully have tantalized Anne.
I don't know about you. I'm pretty tantalized myself.
Anne's over there on the other side of the screen like, oh, no, you didn't.
Well,
I wrote this book already.
Speaking of tantalizing, don't forget, Anne has her own Etsy shop, which of course you will have bought her book from, but she's just put up new fall punch rug little things. I have, you know, I have a couple of them. I need to bring them like so I can show them on camera, but look at these little nuggets on here.
Yes, Anne makes the most fantastic little rugs. They are so cute.
She does
they're very joyful.
Yeah, she's done some of like people's pets and things like that. And of course, there's oh my God, there's only 3 copies left of her book. If you didn't get it and you've been enjoying our talkings about it.
Oh, I'm just seeing the Calico Kitty. How did I miss that before?
Yeah, how did you miss that before?
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, get on there and get some really cool stuff from Anne. She does that. If you follow her on like Instagram or Facebook, she does all kinds of stuff all the time and is posting. And then the last thing here is where you can get merch stuff. Now, as you can see, there is other kinds of stuff here. You're welcome for sharing, Anne, anytime. All these links and all kinds of things will be in the description after we're done. When we stop streaming, I get in and put all that good stuff in for you guys so that you don't miss anything, because we put a lot of stuff in there. So here's the merch, and there's old Dr. Dutton stuff here. If you're familiar from Mary Fonz's Quilt Nerd, when Steph was doing her research for Dr. Dutton, I have one of these shirts. I have one of these shirts here. There's more colors. You just have to get in there and pick colors and things like that. Here's a quilt nerding one. We've got Cake TV. These totes are really nice. All this other jazz down here. A hoodie. But here's the thing.
There's 2 pages of stuff.
There are 2 pages. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. There's something on that other page I definitely want to highlight. There is a really nice notebook in here.
Yes, the Dunton notebook. It's just the quilt block. It doesn't even say Dunton on it. It's just the quilt block.
But the quilt block's
been
really
quite
awesome.
popular.
Yeah, the quilt block's really awesome. But the thing I want to highlight here is that this site is on sale right now. This
page.
The page, all this stuff. If they're 28, and if you add to your cart, you will see. Gotta keep moving you around stuff. Oh, I've got 2 in here. Refresh. Update cart. Sorry about that, guys. So
bam, automatically on sale.
Yeah. And they're going to be on sale through the 31st. So if you want to grab
August 31st.
If you want to get a shirt for seminar, don't wait, because like these are print on demand. So you just never know how long things can take. Like grab something fast, but again, selling stuff like this, it helps us. If you enjoy this stuff, please do help us
Yeah.
keep the lights on. And then that's it.
45 minutes of announcements. And yeah, we read this book.
Hey, that's why I said pull in things from the book as we're going.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just refresh my thing here. Okay.
So while
And
you're doing that, I would like to mention that so my husband's father's family, my father-in-law's family, is from the northwestern tip of Virginia. And there's a huge German Lutheran population there. And as I was reading chapter 5, I see names that are very similar to people in my husband's family.
really?
Yeah. So Denlinger, he's got Dellingers. So the
Mhm.
N, no N.
Mhm.
And then Psalm, there was an SAHM. His grandmother's maiden name was Psalm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's really interesting to me because for a very long time, like just listening to some of our Pennsylvania friends talk about Pennsylvania Dutch,
Mhm.
I didn't find a whole lot necessarily to connect them other than visiting up there. Many of the foods are the same. Lots of, macaroni and cheese and potatoy things and, lots of, delicious stick to your ribs kind of food. Um, but yeah, reading in here and seeing these names, I was like, aha, this is the connection of these Germans that kind of spread out. And I'm not 100% sure what all the details are with my father-in-law did do some genealogy with the family, and I'm not 100% sure. Like they didn't come through Pennsylvania. I know that much. But they've got to be from the same areas of Germany because they've got these similar names. Yes. Okay. Migration of PA Germans in the Shenandoah Valley. Yeah. So that's where they are is the Shenandoah Valley.
That must be like kind of surreal to start seeing like possible
Yeah.
family connections.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, just when you see names and things and you're like, I mean, they're probably connected like generations apart. But you never know. I mean, when you see names that are so similar or just familiar, you never know.
Um, and the pillowcase on page 81, that's the Rolling Stone signature that has the cross stitch on it and the fractor. Do you still have that? Do you still have those? Or that one? Am I looking at the front and the back? It's the front
Yeah,
and the
so
back,
the
right?
one on
Yeah,
the
it's the
left
front
is
and the
the
back.
fractor, the one on the right is the cross stitch.
But is it the front and the back of the same?
No, I think they're two separate pillowcases.
Is it? Is it? Is it?
Yeah, I think so. It's two separate pillowcases.
You do
Yeah.
still have, is there any chance
Mm.
like that you could bring to seminar with you? I'd really like to see up close. Because
And
like
can we just say fractor I mean, that's not something that a person that's so many signature quilts are about, well, I mean, I have a signature quilt here that's a person looks like they wrote with their toes, but Anne says anything for you, Jill. Um,
oh,
but you look at a lot of these and it's like the person with the nicest handwriting is the one that, did the things. But Fractor, that was a guy who that's his job.
mhm.
And I mean, we've heard this a lot as you and I have looked at quilts in Pennsylvania. But learning about Fractor was so interesting to me because I really didn't know anything about it. But you know it when you see it. Like you see it and you're
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, I know that. It's that fancy black letter, you know,
It
calligraphy kind of stuff.
it reminds me a lot in like my academic study because I did a lot with illuminated manuscripts.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
people that were writing, medieval manuscripts, because it reminds me a lot of that. Like example, the pillowcase on 82, the top one there, the single Rolling Stone,
Hmm.
that kind of lettering looks very Gothic to me.
Hmm.
Which, we have like high German Gothic art and things like that.
Well, I mean that's where it comes down from, you know. I
Mhm.
mean, it rolls down to the plain people, the ordinary people, and they then bring it here as an art form.
And you know what?
I love the fact that this person's name was Melon.
Yeah. I didn't even notice because I was too wowed by the fractor. I didn't even notice the little prairie points on the end.
Oh yes, that the little prairie points are so adorable.
Those are
Those
cute.
little
It
tabs.
must have been a royal pain in the tuchus to sew, but like those are really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm wondering if they did like a facing or yeah. So this pillowcase was not in Anne's collection. This was somebody owned by somebody else. But yeah, I'm wondering if, you know, when they did how they sewed those in there, you know, it's very cool.
Mm-hmm. And then this whole big piece in here from the formerly known Lancaster Mennonite Historical Society, now the
Mhm.
Mennonite, what did I say it was? Oh my God, Mennonite Life
What is it? The
Museum.
Mennonite Life Museum. Yeah.
Um,
Yes, and I want to go there. I've learned so much really talking to our Pennsylvania friends that I just never knew. And I'm so glad that I mean people like Anne I know is from Pennsylvania and just some of the other folks that we've spent time with that know so much and have shared knowledge about this stuff. And I'm like, wow, the just the things I didn't know, period, but just the things that, you know, I think that we just make assumptions about Mennonites and Amish, you know.
mhm,
And I am grateful to have learned a lot of this stuff, you know, and yeah, I mean, I think anybody that's interested in like, you know, the plain people, the Amish and the Mennonites should look at sources like this instead of the crazy things that like quilt dealers tell people. You know, there's so much like there's lore out there that just perpetuates.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm very excited to go to that museum. It's just in Lancaster, right? Yeah, it's in Lancaster.
Yeah, like well, when you said like I really want to go there, I'm like, don't you worry, I have planned your life so that you will go there. But I figure, I mean, from just and the website that I showed, that is a tip of the iceberg for the things that you can see online. I was just looking through quickly. Um, there's a whole plethora there, and generally speaking, I feel like, you know, the organization appears pretty generous for how much here that they have allowed, they've let Anne put in her book that we wouldn't have
Yeah,
seen otherwise, because I'm assuming that all this wouldn't be on display probably at once unless they were doing an exhibit. Um,
right. Yeah.
and it's things like this, like we constantly kind of talk about things like social currencies, and something like this is like a perfect example of like, you should always share that thing, write about that topic, tell people about this place, because if it wasn't for Anne's book right here and this chunk and this thing that she's written about, I would not know that the Mennonite Life Museum was a thing, and I would not be planning to go there. So just just
Yeah.
just a little tidbit for people that always think, I don't need to share. No one wants to know about that. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. The pillowcase on 87 um is, well, actually, I'm sorry, there's two of them, but like,
Yeah. Yeah, 87. Oh, that is to die for.
wait, I'm sorry, it's not two, it's just a close up. I was
It's
thinking,
the yeah, it's details. Yeah.
um,
That
but
is so cool.
it's incredible, like that. Again, you kind of feel like it's that doodling almost cut work there, where the the
Well,
the half that
yeah.
looks like, if you turned it sideways, it almost looks like a castle.
Well, yeah, but like this red and this red
Hmm.
are the outer parts of that red.
Right, but
So
it
like when they
looks
cut that
like,
out and then
yeah,
yeah.
and then they're just like, and I'm going to use it, and it almost kind of looks like the side of a castle.
Yeah,
And
it's
then,
really cool looking.
well, and then to have something kind of that ornate. So I think that for a pillowcase man, like that's pretty darn ornate. To then
Well, I think
add,
any pieced pillowcase that also has like fringe and the possibility of fracture. I mean, there is nothing in this book that is like
well,
clear to me.
I mean, Elizabeth Long Landis was like, look, more is more. So
Yes.
like,
And I love her for that.
she's like, And Ann said one of her favorites, and this is definitely one of my favorites too.
For
She,
sure. Yeah.
she probably stood back and looked at her applique and was like, "Now this is
I
pretty
need to
intense.
put some
How could
yellow
I?"
and brown stars in there.
Yeah, well, and she's like, "How can I bedazzle this more? Let us add a fringe." Now, this is a
Bye,
commercial.
Arlene. Bye, Arlene. Glad
Oh,
you could stop by for a sec.
we love you. This fringe is commercially made, correct?
Yeah, you know, when I was looking at it, I would say yeah. Um,
I mean, my
I
first
mean,
guess
you
would
could
be,
see that would be a lot of work to make that, and that
oh,
the
wait.
strip across the top is what like kind of looks like
It says fringe
it's passementary.
plus 5-inch fringe hand. It says hand stitched. Is that the fringe hand stitched?
No, no, I think the pillowcase is hand stitched.
That would be my first guess too, but you know,
Yeah. Um,
sometimes it's ambiguous, like whether the bolster is a stack of bolsters or one's at the head of the bed and the foot of the bed.
yeah, just what I can see of the detail picture of that fringe, that looks like that's passementary or passementary. That is like, I mean, it may have been made by hand, but that is something that is like from a factory or something.
I have
Because
been
you can
fooled
see it's like.
before. I have been fooled before, so I always make it.
So can we jump back to page 83?
No, you cannot.
Um,
83.
I have two questions. So the first one is a show towel. Now, I think I know what they are because I think I have seen them at a person's house who happened to collect them. But do you know what they are?
A show towel? Isn't it just like a for pretty towel? Like a hand
Yeah,
towel?
I think so.
Why are you saying it like that?
Well, because the ones I saw were they were long. They were like really long. They almost look like a shawl. Like they were really long. And what she told me was, and I think she used the term show towel, but they covered up, like you used it to cover like
Something
your
ugly?
shitty towels. Like, but like it was out there as a thing, but like you didn't dry your hands on it. They were very long and like with just intricate stitching and like drawn work and all kinds of things like that. And so
Then I'm totally thinking of something different.
yeah, I mean that's kind of like I think that's what they're talking about here. And it's definitely a Mennonite thing, these
Mm-hmm.
show towels. But the other thing, this so it's we're talking about Anna was known as one of the finest needleworkers in Lancaster County. And then it says, let's see, before her marriage, she made a show towel, which included the traditional OEHBDDE. So that translates to "Oh noble heart, remember your end." Is that the kind of thing, like, is that a memento mori kind of like, is that the German version, like the Pennsylvania Dutch version of memento mori?
I definitely would not be the person to ask. I, either
Well, I
Anne,
mean,
Anne or a Barb Garrett that's
yeah.
potentially in the
Oh,
audience.
noble heart, remember your end. So, I mean, that's kind of what that, I mean, it, like this too, I too shall die kind of thing. I mean, that's kind of what I'm reading that as. I just was really curious about those and
Anne
that.
said she posted on Instagram about show towels a
Oh,
few days
how
ago.
did I miss that?
Hold on.
I will go check that out.
Let me
Oh,
look. Let me look here. Let me look here. Um,
oh, I actually had Instagram up.
oh, okay. So,
See if I can find it before you.
well, if you're finding it on your computer, it might be better because you could potentially share that. I can't, I'm on my phone.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Yep. Yeah. That's what these are. I will share my screen.
Okay.
You see them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they have like a little, I think some of them that I saw have like even like a little like string thing up there to hang them,
Mm-hmm.
but they're this fanciness and
I didn't go through all the pictures when I saw it. That's definitely some fanciness.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're like samplers almost, I guess. But you know what's really ridiculous is I'm asking this question. I remember looking at this post.
Oh my God.
I remember looking at this post because of the two women's names that are on the one towel. It's Betsy Spiker, Lydia Miller,
Mhm.
1900. I remember thinking, oh, oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
you can't take
goodness.
me. You can't take me anywhere.
No, I can't. I can't even take you to the Mennonite Life Museum. Like, we have to
In
talk.
case anybody's interested, I'm gonna drop that link in there. So
Yes, drop that link in there. We have to talk about Cheater here because
yes. Oh,
somebody really loves them some Cheater
somebody is obsessed with cheaters.
and
Cloth,
recently
that
bought
is.
some. Yeah, I was to say, and recently bought some Cheater cloth.
Yeah, yeah. And these that are in here are ones that I had never seen before. Um, and this Cocheco Manufacturing Company, Dover, New Hampshire, or Cocheco, I don't know how you pronounce that. I never heard of that before. So that's one more thing to add to my, list of knowledge about
Hmm.
fabric companies and these cheater cloths. I
Hmm.
really like the ones on page 90. I think are my favorites because they've got like they're brighter. And they have like that blue and red. The ones that are on page 88 and 89 are kind of more, they're duller colors. They're more earth tones and well, chintz. I have that love-hate
Hmm.
relationship with chintz.
Yeah, the one that you were saying, is it the top one on 88 that you said you hadn't seen before?
Right. Yeah, I had never seen that one before.
I love it. That's one of my favorites. I have seen before, not obviously in this context. I think it was almost used as like a medallion piece on a quilt. Um, but it's one of my favorites because it looks pieced like 100% based on the high contrast. You know how some of them like you like from really far away they would look pieced, but you can tell that they're a cheater print pretty easily.
Mhm.
This one fooled me big time the first time I saw it.
Yeah. I also love the turn of phrase that Anne used in here. Was it when she talks about oh shoot, now I can't find it. It's like where she's talking about how like legitimately pieced stuff. Um ah, why am I not finding it? I know it's on one of these pages.
I mean, that makes sense from being on some other pages.
No, but it's something to the effect of like honest piecing, like this is for real piecing. I just thought it was really funny. Um, I can't even find it now. I know she'd said it a couple times in here. Um, but yeah, I definitely the completely the ones on this page are just complete the the BS fabric. There is not a stitch of piecing in that. I love those both, and it's very nice that she calls it whole cloth instead of trickery.
Well, and then after we look at the cheaters, we go into
The bolsters,
the
yeah.
bolsters, for the top and bottom of your bed. Only my bed.
Actually, what's funny is I have a bolster at the foot of my bed.
Like a puffy one, because like I guess I was just thinking about like a bed scarf there that's like
Oh,
puffy. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
like,
no, I'm talking about like a body pillow kind of thing. And
uh,
it actually has the case that matches this.
oh, is okay. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I think about it, I would not want a pillow at the end of my bed. That would bother my feet, but I could probably
Oh,
get on board with like
I
a bed
stick my
scarf.
feet under it. I stick my feet under it.
No, no, no.
Now, the bolster's on page 94. these two I really love. The
Oh yeah.
Carolina Lily
Mhm.
and I guess this one in the middle does it just says floral applique. I guess there's not like a pattern name for that.
Mhm.
Um, but I think those are both very pretty.
Mhm.
And the striped one, that one is obscenely long. Like,
Yeah.
like it's very like small, obscenely long.
Well, so if we can go into the matching pillowcases with quilts.
Yeah.
So we did already talk about this one of the other last week, maybe a little more, because we have actually seen Steph and I this in person. Uh
Hmm. Yep.
when there was a quilt turning by the Christs
The
at
crusts. Hmm.
the Schwenkfelder at the Penn Dry Goods show this year.
Hmm.
No, I'm like not like paying attention to where I'm showing things.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
which
that
I
was
think,
it was a beautiful quilt.
yeah, it was
And
really
it was
pretty.
it was so cool then to see the pillow,
Mhm.
um, the pillowcase.
But so in looking at
Oh,
these,
were there two of them? Because I guess there
no,
were two of them.
I think it was just one. Was there? I think it was just one.
No, it says Lone Star pillowcases with matching quilt, showing front and back of matching cases. Yeah, there were two, I
Okay,
think.
maybe there were two. Okay, maybe there were two.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, but what's interesting is I found these ones here on the next page on 98 and 99 incredibly interesting.
Yes. The quilt is stunning. I mean, anything princess feathers are always, very intricate, and just that yellow background is
Mhm.
so striking. But the pillowcases, oh my gosh, I love what they did.
Mhm.
First of all, the scalloped edge, I mean, I'm done.
I know
That is the best thing.
a
That is the
scalloped edge
best
on
thing ever.
a scalloped edge on a quilt is bad enough. But when you consider how small the scallop has to be to put it on a pillowcase,
Yeah, and I
like,
didn't look very closely at this. That appears to be straight of grain binding, which is always amazing to me.
and
Schwenkfelder.
oh
Yes, these are Schweikfelder Schwenkfelder.
yeah, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that. Yeah, we go to the Schwenkfelder a lot. There is a very, very cool heritage center and museum.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I just these with the scallops, like, you know, stick a fork in me, I'm done.
Um,
I don't ever need to see another pillowcase. This is the one.
Anne said maybe Candace will show it to you at the next Penn Dry Goods. We're
Oh,
gonna have to remember
yeah.
that. We're
Yeah,
gonna have
yeah,
to
yeah.
remember.
Yes, I
Well,
have been to one of
or
Candace's lectures, so I've already like got a foot in the door for buttering her up.
well, actually, if we're gonna be there in October, just saying.
Just saying. Uh-huh.
Just saying. Um, because we're running out of time, I do want to make sure that we hit on this other small treasures
Yes,
because
I
these are
love this
very,
chapter.
yes, these are very interesting. And I feel like you need to do a whole book on these alone. Because we have storage bags, square pillow covers, um, the privy bags, we've got doll quilts. Like there are so many cool things in here. Like
The little
originally
tiny pot holders, like that is might be one of my favorite non-pillowcase things. I'm like, just
I
look at those little things.
I on that shopping trip that I was on in Pennsylvania after Penn's that day that I was shopping, I may have picked up a pot holder for Anne.
Are
I
they
She became my shopping buddy for the day as I was snapping pictures everywhere I went, and she was like, "I'll take that one and that one."
Well, I'm curious. I know that she mentions in here that they all have the same, let's see, the back of the two round pot holders in the bottom row have the same blue wool backing. Is that all they are? Is like the piecing and then the back, like a wool backing on them?
Oh,
Or
I
do
don't
they
know.
have anything like, I was just curious to know, like, how did they make them? I mean, is it like a stack of stuff to keep them, or is it just you're relying on the wool to save your hands or your table? Like, whatever. Um, I just thought those were so charming. I just love those so much. But if we flip back and looking at some of the privy bags,
Mhm.
one of my favorites that I feel like every time I pick up the book and flip through, I end up on this page.
Oh,
And
and
I love the colors. And then it wasn't until today that I looked at, I'm like, yep, there's the one I love. And I'm like, that was provided by a friend of ours.
I was gonna say, did you happen to
So
notice who that's from?
yeah, yeah. And this one has got the slit in the
Hmm.
back. And what's really amazing to me is, I mean, the purpose of these, according to the stories, is, to put something in there for wiping. There's like no other nice way of saying it. And I'm assuming, I mean, like, I think those things were like debris, like corn husks and stuff like that, or the Sears catalog, but I mean, you've got to give these folks credit for putting something like that up, and then you put the Sears catalog on it, because I feel like I've seen things where the outhouse literally had the Sears catalog like nailed to the wall and you just rip the pages off. This is a lot classier than that. You've got this nice, pretty little bag hanging on the wall. It's hiding the unmentionable, right? I mean, it's just so much nicer. I can get
Instead
behind
of
this.
like picking and choosing that you're gonna wipe yourself with like men's outerwear of the season.
Yeah, I mean, and these bags are all just really, really pretty. I know that if I had not read about them, and I mean, I learned about them from you and then read about them here, I would not, if I saw one of these, I wouldn't know what it was. I would just be like, why is this pillowcase got like a weird loops on it? You know?
Yeah, and then like the fact too that you've got ones. Oh, I was just gonna show that. Fine, never mind. Leave me to it. That don't even have loops.
Hmm.
Um, make me, it really makes me sit here going and saying like, I wonder if mine is, is it a squarish pillowcase? Is it a bag? Are we gonna find a slit in the back and it's a privy bag? Like, what are we?
Are you gonna find some like ink from the Sears catalog in there?
Leftover corn husks.
Yeah.
Um,
But I just, to sort of sum up this section, I just have such an appreciation for, the people historically that were like, okay, the outhouse is not a pleasant place to be. It is not a bright and sunny place, but we're going to make it, we're going to make it nice. And I just appreciate that so much. And I just love the idea of, I mean, you could just have any old thing to put a pot on top of to save your tabletop or your hands or whatever. But these are like these little I mean, they may have been like scrap leftover stuff, but I mean, how precious, you know?
well then, and then here we get into the doll quilts, and I will say, like, for anyone that's kind of new to some of this, doll quilts are really highly desirable collector pieces. For one,
Yeah.
because of ease of storage.
Hmm. Yeah.
Quilts are big and bulky and they take up a lot of space and can be hard to store properly. Um, but doll quilts can really, you know, store easily. They often, retain their value, if not go up in value. If there's something you're considering collecting, and you don't have a lot of space, you should definitely consider getting into doll quilts. Don't let your husband hear that, because he'll probably think that I'm like talking you into like some new thing here.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I don't want to get
yeah. I mean,
I don't
doll
want to get in
quilts are a good thing
trouble.
though. Doll quilts are a good thing because generally they are, like you're saying, they're more affordable. They take up less space.
Well, they're not
They,
necessarily more affordable. They can go for a lot of money.
yes, this is true. If you get the really, really, really old ones, absolutely. Those I've seen some that like, I guess early 1800s kind of stuff that would rival any full-sized bed quilt
Hmm.
in price, but yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, and then the pot holders, I mean, sadly, I don't have a picture of the one I picked up for Anne, but Anne, if I recall correctly, I believe it was a star. I feel like it was like similar to kind of like this 9 patch one on page 115, but I think it might have been a star. Um, if you want, and we could always share that one next time.
So we have to spend a couple minutes on the reuniting of pillowcases. I love this part of the
Reunited,
story.
and it feels so good.
Yes, I just this is so cool, you know, because um I mean I have some like sister quilts, you know, that were clearly, I mean, well, I bought two from you that were, and not sister quilts really. I mean, but they were probably made by the same person.
Mhm.
They were kit quilts, you know, but that's as close as I've ever come to something like, you know, I've never found something out in the wild that belonged together with something else that I had found. I mean, I think that's just amazing to have accomplished this. Um, you know, and having probably not necessarily set out to do it, it just kind of came together that these pillowcases got reunited. And
Mhm.
what one of them was in California, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember. Um, yes. So one was owned by a collector in Pennsylvania, and the exact match pillowcase owned by a collector in California. Like, you know, and I guess it's something that's so they're rare enough that when people have them and they know what they are, they're like, yeah, I've got one of them. And so I guess it would be easier to match them up, you know, if people know what they have and are, you know,
Mhm.
talking about them.
And Anne
Yeah,
said it was always a happy
a
surprise.
happy surprise. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and I think both of these sets are kind of like, um, you know, they're unique enough that, you know, I mean,
That you could reunite them.
yeah, I mean,
Like you can't really
they're
mistake them for something else.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. They're specific enough. They're not like just some, you know, a nine patch where you could be kind of like, "Oh, did these go together?" I mean,
Mhm.
these go together. These are identical, and then these other ones are clearly the same fabric. The same fabrics were used, even though the blocks are all a little bit different. I just think that's just so cool. That's just a
Well, and it's like such a nice way to like end a
yeah.
book on with like because I mean, oftentimes we end a book and we're like sad that it's over. So it's like such a nice little like that's
Yeah,
the
it is.
step in your step.
Yeah, it's a very cool thing to end on that you know that these were matched together. You know, and I think it's probably so easy to look at linens and things and say like, "Oh, well, I only have the one pillowcase. Maybe there was only one or certainly there were two, but who knows what happened to the other one." You know, I mean, how often do you hear that kind of, you know, those kind of situations and then,
Mhm.
you know, that this it's a happy surprise. And now I just want to again mention the annotated bibliography.
Yes.
This is a treasure trove right here. I always, like Jill said, always go through the bibliography because there's always such good stuff in here. And there are several books in here where I was like, I do not have that. I need to add that to my list.
Mhm.
But yeah, good stuff. Absolutely good stuff in here.
Nope, good stuff. And I
Um,
mean, good stuff in the whole book. And like really like fabulous, fabulous book. I like really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
yeah,
And I'm sure that everyone else following along, whether or not they show up in our comments, also really enjoyed it as well. And then to remind everybody that if you have any burning questions that came up while you were reading this book or just about Anne and her research and the things that she does in life, we are going to do a live stream interview with her next Tuesday on the 20th. It's going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern time instead of 8 because we know that it's not always easy to keep things to an hour. So we
yeah,
start early to plan ahead that we might have too much fun and it could go over time. I think
yeah,
Dawn's was about an hour and a half, maybe.
yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we plan ahead for that. So if you got questions, you can send them to us or you can ask them in the chat live that night where we will have Anne here on screen instead of just in the comments joining us. I can't believe another one's done.
I know we have been racing through books.
We
And I
have.
mean, it helps when they're interesting books full of beautiful pictures. And yeah, um,
And also when other people, other friends of ours are like Arlene and Julie Silber are supplying us with supplementary things, even things Anne's never seen. That even that's
mhm.
really exciting. And you guys might probably be asking why we didn't start the stream tonight by giving out the assignment for the next book, which is what we usually do. And let me just tell you, the reason that we're not doing that is because we go to seminar the first week of September, and we basically we'll have an entire week where we really can't do any like scheduled live streaming. So instead of starting something and taking a big break like that, we're going to wait till we get back from seminar to start the book. You will get the assignment before then, not to fret. But it means that on the 27th there, if we, you know what, why don't I just show the calendar again, just real quick, so that everybody knows. Oh my God, hurry up here. What are you doing? So that everybody knows where everybody's supposed to be. Okay. That's too many screens, too many screens, too many screens. Okay.
You have too many screens.
Oh my God.
I have too many screens.
Can you see that? Okay. So if you can see down here, we have that 27th is an extra Quilt Nerding Investigates. It's going to be an extra night of shenanigans. We haven't totally decided what we're going to do that night, but it's just going to be like a free night where maybe we look at an exhibit or we look at some other things online, and we're just kind of, hanging out. We won't be doing any reading that night. So just so everybody knows, we will not be starting our next book till I think it's the second week of September is when we'll first start discussing. And remember, that book is also going to come with an author interview at the end with our friend Merikay Waldvogel. So with
And I have not had a chance to ask Mary Kay yet, but I have a cool idea for a giveaway. So we may have a small giveaway for soft covers for hard times. So be sure
oh
you got your book. And yeah, well, once I have confirmation, I cannot speak for her. So I have to ask first, but I'm
mhm.
pretty sure she'll say yes. And yeah, we'll have a cool thing to give away.
Okay, well that's exciting. I mean, I don't even know yet what this cool thing to possibly give away is, so it's a surprise
Well,
for
I
me
have to get
too.
permission. I have to get permission first. So um
Alrighty.
well, I can't wait to find out about the patterns. And yeah, I'm just wondering, do we need to reach out to Carol Vial?
Well, so we like Anne has been given permission to share the one
The
that's
one.
mhm. And then I'm not
Quilt Media, that's the one that
yeah,
Quilt Mania.
I am not sure. We'd either need to I wonder if we'd have to consult someone that's more well versed in copyright and things like that.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't know how that works. Like I mean Quilt Mania, I mean I can't think of a better, I mean the magazine folded basically.
mhm,
Um I mean magazines are tough to sell these days as publications. And so I think they just decided to close their doors. Although some of their stuff is still has been picked up by other entities.
mhm.
But yeah, I mean that's an interesting question. Like what happens as far as like somebody still holds the copyrights for, the organization, but yeah, we'll have to find out
Yeah. I
because
mean, the bare minimum we could do a so long with the one pattern so far. Um,
yeah, I absolutely would love to do that one because it's small and cute
mhm,
and
mhm. So yeah, we could do that if people are interested in doing that. Um,
and I'm gonna have to find a Scrivener for mine because I need my name on all things in Fractor now. So if anybody knows a Fractor Scrivener, let me know.
I mean, I would think that's still a thing. Is that still a thing?
Yeah,
I think that's still a thing.
I'm positive it is. I'm sure there's somebody still, yeah. I mean, I have enough little Pennsylvania Dutch advertisement stuff that
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure there are still a few people that do it.
Yeah. Well, things to think about then. Things to think about.
Yeah.
Well, with that, don't forget that you probably want to come back to this video shortly because we will have updated the description with all kinds of things. Just remember, Steph and I share the responsibilities here. So not everything always happens at the same time. We pass back who's doing what. So there's that. Things will be posted for you, reminders and things on the Facebook Quilt Nerding group, on the Instagram, and things like that. And don't forget to come back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We're going to be here again.
Yeah,
We're
we've
going to
got
be
some
looking at pincushions.
got some pincushions to look at.
Yeah.
I have homework to do for that.
Yeah, you do. I'm on top of things for once, which is just bizarre. So yeah, come back tomorrow night and hang with us again. We would love to have you. And I guess I'm
Yeah.
gonna go catch up on doing some of that stuff for that.
Yes. Oh, our work is never done. And that's a good thing. It keeps us off the
Yes.
streets.
No, and I love being here with you and with everyone. And thank you so much for joining us again tonight. And we're gonna see you
Yeah.
on the 20th.
Thanks so much, Anne. And thanks so much to everybody. And we will see you hopefully tomorrow night.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Jill.
Bye.